Hi everybody, it's Barbie from Nellie and Ruth Designs, and thanks for joining in. I'll say my thank yous. I want to tell you how much I appreciate everyone for watching my videos. I am new to YouTube, and it's been a great pleasure. So thank you everyone who has subscribed, tuned in, watched, commented. I really appreciate it. I wanted to make a quick little video. Of course, my quick little videos are almost an hour, but there was a couple things that I wanted to cover in this video. First, the items that I'm going to be making are going into my shop, and I wanted to share with you what is left in my shop. And right now, I'm offering 10% off all of my items in my Etsy shop. What we're going to make today after I get done are these cute little library pocket card holders. And they will be coming with a library card to journal on. And these you can purchase at the library store online. You do have to get quite a quantity though. So if you're only looking to, that's why I thought I would make some and put them in my shop. I can't remember the quantity, but I think it's 200 that you have to purchase. So I went ahead and got the 200, and I thought I would make up these adorable, adorable little library pocket cards for your junk journals or scrapbooks. And there will be quite a variety, but they're just wonderful to journal on. It's just fun, a lot of fun. And especially if you do make a journal that will have, you know, if it's a book theme, these would be great to put the book that you read, the date you read it, of course, your author title, and then just give a little summary about a book, the book that you read. And that way, if you want to go back and read it, you'll have the summary there, what you liked, what you didn't like about it. Yeah, I think these are really, really cute. So we're going to make a few of these today, but let me show you the ones that I have made so far, because these will be listed in my shop. I'd like this video to air on Monday, and today is March 18th. It's Thursday. So that'll give me time to get the rest of them made. I have quite a few others that I will be making over the weekend. So, and I'm thinking about selling them in pairs. So I've kind of made them similar. So I would be putting, like, say, these two together. And these I absolutely adore. I bought these from a gal on Instagram, and I don't have a lot of these left, and she doesn't make them anymore. So I think I'm going to try to make something similar. I hate to lose something. I hate to use something up once I make the purchase and she doesn't make them anymore. And then I have these two lovely Victorian gals. I should have... Okay, this is a third. Actually, these two here will go together. And my desk, if you could see it, you would say, oh my heavens, how does she find anything? I'm right in the middle of scrapbooking I want to finish my son's baby books. So I have been working with baby photos, all kinds of ephemera for those pages. I've got cutters out. You name it, I have it out. And then I pulled all of my stuff out for this project. So I literally am working in this little tiny space that you see. And then everything else around me is just chock full of items for my boys' baby books. So I have these two here that would obviously be listed together. I have this sweet little gal here, and this little sticker came out of my monthly Your Creative Studio box, and I just love these. So I have that one there. And then let me just go through these. These two would be, and I'm making them in pairs, so that way you could put one on one side of your junk journal. You could, you could do a left and right spread, if you want to put them out throughout. But I thought that would be kind of fun if maybe your center page, you could have 2 of these. So I have these 2 here. I am putting the Tim Holtz sayings on them. And then I have this set here. This is a little travel set. So I thought this was absolutely, and why not trust your crazy ideas when you're booking a vacation? And of course, if you're going to travel the world, do what you love. So I thought that was quite appropriate. And then this here, I'm sure in my stack of more items over here, I have a set for this one, but she may just be all on her own. So that is one there. These will all be listed in my shop, so I'm going to set these aside. And then let me show you what is left in my shop. I don't remember, and I would have to check to see if I made a video on, and I'm checking now. Yes, I believe, yeah, embellishing paper pad covers using vintage images. I did make a video on that. So I had, I don't know how many I had, 20-something of these, and I had made others that girls had contacted me about through direct message on Instagram that I had made for them. So this is what I have left in my shop, and I wanted to show you these. I have this one here. Start Doing Things You Love. I have her here. And then I have some, these are the only 2, I believe, retro vintage style I have left. The others were just all purchased and spoken for, taken. Then I have some nature. What's left here, the mushroom with birds, Be in Love with Your Life. This is a very pretty one with the vellum cover here. I have this here with a very pretty washi tape. And then these are the only 2 snarky ones. I had a whole series of snarky paper pads that I had listed in the shop. And these are the only 2 that I have left. So you might want to check those out and get what you want before those are gone. And then I had also done a video on some tags. And again, this is what is left. These 3 here, this is what's left in the shop. So if you're looking for a nice journaling tag, you will find them. You will find these 3. Oop, this little bow came undone. You will find these 3 left in the shop. So let me get this tied up if I can here. It's tiny, tiny. So yeah, so it's raining here today. It's just a miserable day, but I don't mind the rain this time of year because it punches out the remaining snow that is covering us. We still have a good 1 to 2 feet in some areas, so I'm welcoming the rain. Okay, so these are the remaining tags, and then I have these. I have a whole series of tags that I will try to finish this weekend as well, and I'm going to be getting these in the shop. So you can, again, I have 4, but I have many more sitting here in front of me that I need to get off my desk and finish, and you can look for these in the shop next week as well. So with that all done and taken care of, I just wanted to go over with you what is remaining in the shop. Okay, so getting back to these cute little, sorry for reaching in front, getting back to these really cute little library pocket holders. I will have a variety of these in the shop. So if you do make a purchase of the, and the nice thing about these library cards, if you do make a purchase, what I was going to say is you will have to figure out the size paper. I cut these one night while I was watching TV with my husband. But these run, I can tell you quickly, the size. These are approximately approximately 3.5, a little shy of 3.5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like 3 7/8 by almost 3 3/4. But you are going to have to play with the size of these. But like I said, I went ahead and I cut them while I was watching TV, and I took some coordinating papers that I wanted to accent with. So I thought I would make some of these. I know I don't work, I've never seen a lot of crafters work a lot with men, any vintage or retro style men. And I'm sure that you do pages out there of your husband's or for a special holiday. So I thought I could make a couple of those today. And then I have, so this is, I can just show you what will be offered as far as, you know, styles in the shop. I'm going to have these retro men, which I think are just wonderful. Reminds me of my dad in his dapper days. So they'll be all different coordinating colors, etc., etc. I have some of these wonderful women that I'll be working with. And I recently made a tag using this one, and I just love her. I think she's so classy. I have some fairies. Maybe we could work on a fairy one today. I'll have fairies in the shop, which are just so adorable. And then more of the retro men. So let's just get started, and let's see what we come up with. So we're going to put her back, because I've done quite a few ladies, and you probably get tired of seeing all the ladies that I are constantly working with and touting. So we could work with a couple men here. All right. So the first thing I like to do, and again, I'm doing this off camera because of the wear on my brush. It leaves little speckled pieces on my mat, and then the brown kind of gets everywhere, and I don't want it on the actual item I'm working on. So I just lightly burnish or accent, whatever you want to, whatever term you use, around the corners. And I love these because these are self-adhesive, but if you want, you can put more adhesive on the back just to make sure that it does stay in your book. All right, so we're going to work with a couple men here. And again, even though I cut ahead of time, I do always check, just double check to make sure I haven't made a mistake, because there's nothing worse than thinking that you've cut something proper and then you get it all embellished and then it doesn't fit, or it's too big, or it's too small. And usually I like to create and then put it on my paper or my item that I want to dress up. So yeah, it's not pouring rain here today. It's just a nice drizzle type rain. It's still very cold here, but not cold enough to turn to freezing rain or anything like that. So in making, see, I'm not really prepared for the men here because I've been working on women, but I think I can make, I did bring out I have my stamp book here that I can go through and choose some stamps, and I did bring out my sticker book. So I think I will be okay. And then, of course, I do have, I brought out my little, all my other little weapons here. So I think we'll be okay for the men. I have a yellow cab. I just bought this little yellow cab booklet, which I think is cool. We can use some of those because isn't it manly to hail a cab for your lady? I think so. So maybe we could start here. Let's see. I've learned to keep who I buy things from. I keep their little receipt. This is from Tailor Made Cards for You. Every now and then she'll have a little item that I really like and I feel I can't live without to use. So we can go with a ticket. And again, I need my little and this is where you just kind of have to decide where you want your items and what you want. But that's part of the creative process. That is part of the creative process. I think that's a little too big. But we could put something here like this. And this is where the time element really takes hold. I'm not very good at, and I really don't know if anyone is, but I'm not very good at pricing my items when I go to list them in my Etsy shop. And I'm always doubting. I don't feel I charge very much. For my items, not like some girls. And but I think, in all fairness, when somebody does create and I do call these original. I call everybody's our original pieces of work because they really are. Unless you're doing a tutorial and you're following along or whatever, but the whole thought process, you have to own it. I do watch a lot of tutorials to get ideas, but those ideas never carry over to what I've, what they've done, their type of style. It's just like the clothes you wear. You have your own style. I'm just going to lift that up because I want to be able to put this under here. And this art glitter glue does dry fairly fast. Everybody has their own style. And I did have one gal ask me if all I do is work with vintage and retro women. I don't. My other love is nature and birds, trees, anything outside. I think you have to design with what you're comfortable with, what comes naturally to you. And I don't know why, but for some reason, working with, these retro and vintage figures, it comes very naturally. Comes very natural to me. I don't know if it's because, I grew up in that era. And I was so influenced by shows and movies. So even though you do watch a tutorial, you may get, a new idea as far as a design, or, oh, hey, I didn't think of, adding, putting that ticket sideways or even upside down, or, I think that's what I take away from a lot of tutorials that I watch. I may like a layout, but I don't necessarily use the same type of embellishments or items that they use. So I still look at their work as an original work that I haven't copied. And this, I'm going to try to put something here because I just noticed a little flaw, and it's going to drive me nuts. So I think what I'll do is put a Tim Holtz saying. And I think I'll do it in black, because everything else we have some black here and black here. And if I could just find the saying I just had. Which is silly. Sorry about this. All right, I'm going to always take the scenic route, seeing that he is waiting for a cab. And maybe I can bring that up just a little bit. There we go. Because a lot of time, I know when you take a cab, you want to get there. You don't want to pay the fee. But sometimes, if you're dreading maybe where you might have to go. Don't you always want to take the scenic route? Make your ride last a little bit longer. So and then I just use my tape glider on the back to tape these. And I am having trouble with this today, which I really haven't quite figured out. The tape got buggered up inside, and for some reason it just keeps, it's obviously, and you see here how it's just getting all buggered up. So these tape gliders are great. However, once in a while you do get one that acts like a bad child, and they will just act up when you least expect it. And then you just have to deal with it and put your foot down. So the men really won't have a lot of, floral pieces to it. It will definitely be more masculine, but I love them. Okay, so there's these would be really great for Father's Day as well. These would make wonderful cards. If you wanted to make a Father's Day card, you could actually attach this to a card, a blank card, and then you could write, even a postcard style, you could write your note to your father on this journaling, on the library card. That would be different and unique. I always make a Father's Day card for my boys to give to their father. Now that they're older, they sometimes, they like to go out and buy a card. But he always likes the homemade, and then they can write whatever they want inside, obviously. This up here, make sure I'm on camera. Oh, and I don't know about you, but the time change, wow, I am not used to it yet. And I'm really, really having a hard, I'm going to take this out. I'm really having a hard time with it. Last year I had the same problem. I just couldn't get acclimated. I don't have a problem in the fall when the clocks are turned back. My problem is when we spring forward. Losing that hour really buggers me up. I have a really, really, really hard time. I'm an early riser, but I have not been able to get up at a decent hour. And it's been hard. I mean, I've been getting up at 7, which is normally 6 o'clock. But I like to get up at 6, and I like to get my day started. Now, by the time I have my coffee, it's 9 o'clock in the morning. And that's not like me. I've had headaches. I can't get to sleep at night. All right. And it just hasn't been fun. I'm usually in the gym, either on my elliptical. I did take my daughter-in-law and I went with a great group of women last Friday. We went on a great hike. And that's the last that I've done anything. It was 60 degrees that day. It was absolutely beautiful. And then the next day, in the morning, it was 7 degrees. And I just can't assimilate to that change. So I've been inside, more or less hibernating. I decided to start my boys, finish, not start, because I had started them, their baby books. And I've gotten quite far. If I just stay off of Instagram and, looking at everyone else's, sometimes I have to take a break from social media too. It can be overwhelming. But there are certain girls that I check on constantly. I'm always checking in on Tanya, Tatty Treasures, and Gal Agostinelli, and Wendy at Wendy's Art Journals. Those are my 3 main go-tos on YouTube. And I have a couple of my gals on Instagram that I do have to check on, but other than that, I need to take a break. I don't know about you, but it can be just a little, it can be a little too much, overwhelming at times, and I just need to step back. And I wouldn't get anything done in my shop if I was constantly perusing the internet. It's very unproductive, I think. For me, anyways. I can't speak for others. I can only speak for myself. And these stickers, once again, these comes from Spix Pix in the UK. And it's going to get to a point where I'm going to have to order some more eventually. I'm just kind of waiting for the shipping, the mail to be a wee bit better. And that sticks right on there. Because even sending a card to Canada, I mean, I'm literally across the border, and I sent a really cute handmade Valentine. It was made with a old vintage postcard, but I sent that to a gal, one of my Instagram friends, and she got it 3 weeks after Valentine's Day. So yeah, our postal system, as you know, is just, I don't think very. There you go. So these two will be offered together. This is a nice matching pair. So we just did the men. I'll set that there. Okay, what do you want to do next? I have got more women. How about if we do a couple fairies? Because I'm very fond of these little girls, these little littles. And I'm also going to try to create, I'm also going to try to create some of these for those who do Bible journaling, because I just think these would be wonderful. And I've got some really cute images for Bible journaling. My other big dilemma, I don't know, I'm just doing these off camera. I don't know about you. I had a great talk with my brother yesterday. He's getting his second COVID shot the beginning of April. My husband's had his. So as soon as he gets done with his shot, we're going to have him over for dinner. He's about 50 minutes, 45 minutes away from me in the southern zone of where I'm in the northern zone. He's in the southern zone of our state. And he has a great eBay shop. He sells comic books and books. He's got a phenomenal shop on eBay. It's called, I think it's called Bottles One. And if you need paperbacks, or if you're a comic book collector, he's the one to go to. He's very knowledgeable, and he's just got it all going on. So I was talking to him yesterday, and he loves to cook. And we just got talking about, I think March and April are we both agreed that March and April are very odd months to try to figure out. There's nothing I despise more as trying to figure out what's for dinner. And every day I get the question, hey, honey, what are we having for dinner tonight? I'm like, oh, God, I have no idea. My son, will ask. Okay, so she's going to be straight up here. So I'm only going to need a little tiny smidgen of this. And that's always my biggest dilemma. What am I going to make for dinner? And then, now just remember, when you tear on one side, don't just turn it and tear. You can. What I do is to save a scrap, is I literally just kind of eyeball it to see the size I want, and I just cut it. So now I have another square scrap to work with. Like, I need another square scrap, like I need a hole in the head. But that's just how I save paper. So anyway, we were talking about, the months of, it's too early. Like he said, it's, you can grill out, but, he goes, I just can't wait until May, end of April, May, to fire up the grill, throw some burgers on it. And, you can have your macaroni salad. That's summer. We're talking about summer food. Macaroni salad, potato salad, corn on the cob. You just don't feel right. You feel like you're cheating. You just can't eat that in April or March or April. And, I still think March it's a month where you don't want to eat a lot of heavy food. I don't like to eat winter food in March or April. So it's quite a dilemma. So for this, I'm really not sure what I'm going to pull to add to these little fairies. So I'm just going to browse a little bit. These are a little too big. So again, this is where the creative process comes in, and this is when I say, you know, how do I price these? Because you can see what needs to be done. What, you know, the designing and all of that, and the whole thought process behind it. And the time that it takes. And I don't think there's people that realize how much thought does go into something like this. Because, you know, you're always wondering, you know, what could I change to make it better? What, as far as color, should I, this I'll probably cut down a little. You know, what words do I want to cover up? What do I want to show? Are the words more important than the back, you know, the back background? You know, do you want, you know, a mirror image? Do you want this small little piece on this side? So if you put it on your, if you have an open spread layout, you know, do you want it like, you know, should it be like that? So there is a lot of thought that does go into an item such as this. So, you know, it just all comes into, play. You know, what is pleasing to the eye? Will it blend in too much? So if I wanted to have more of, again, if I wanted to have more of the flowered thorn showing, you know, you could always cut this. It doesn't have to be all the way over. Flowered thorn tree, which might be, so we would cut just to the end of the tree. So yeah, so I think that all of my, my items in my shop are priced accordingly. And I am not going to I'm not going to cut this down because I do like just this here. All right, so I do know now that I do want this. So I'm going to, instead of my tape roller, I will use my art glitter glue. And you have to remember, when you do work with the art glitter glue, it does dry somewhat fast, so you just have to make sure you know where you're putting it and get it down. So I needed a good laugh today, and of course I can't. So I turned Netflix on and I was watching some of the comedians. Oh my gosh, it felt so good to laugh hard. All right, so we have this little sweet pea going on here. And I'm just wondering, don't know how much more I want to put on here because I don't think it needs too much, but I'd like a little something more. And I don't even think that needs to go to the edge. I think we can put it like that. Ah. So I hope you've all been able to create what you've wanted to create lately. I hope you've all been able to, also, if you've had good weather, get out and enjoy it. I'm going to hike on Saturday morning. I think it's supposed to be pretty decent weather. And my girlfriend wants to start hiking again. And she hasn't hiked in a long time. So I think we're just going to take a nice little leisurely, not so much a mountain, but a really nice backwoods hike that's absolutely beautiful. There's a lot of very large brooks that run down along the trail, and it's a great, it leads you to a really nice, a very large pond that in the summer they fish for trout. So I think I'm going to take her there early Saturday morning. And okay, she's done. All right, let's finish up this one, and then I'm going to call it a day. I think you get the idea. And I will put in my source area where I purchased the library cards. So if you want to make some, again, you have to get a large quantity, but hey, if you can use them, you know, if you're making junk journals and for yourself, or it's a nice thing to have on hand. And like I said, they'd be really nice to make for cards. I just think it would be a really cute idea. And maybe we'll do that. We'll make some greeting cards using these. Some snail mail, which I think is still so important these days. It's just nice to get something in the mail other than a bill or somebody sending you a text message. And I have some girls, girlfriends that, hey, what's new? What's going on? And I text them, and then they text back. And then I said, you know what? This is stupid. I'm just calling you. I'm not going to sit here and just text when we can have a nice chat. I want to hear your voice. So I'm getting to the point where I really, really, really don't. I'm sick of texting. And I'm going to do the same on this one, seeing that they're a mirror image. But I'd much rather call and talk to my girlfriends or a family member. I'm just not. It's one thing if you just say, hey, where are we? Like when I hiked with my girlfriend the other day, and we were going to meet up with everyone, I sent her a text. I called her the night before to chat about the hike, and but then the next day, I sent her a quick text. I go, where are we meeting up? What parking area are we meeting in? That's, to me, that's different. That's okay. That's an okay text. But I've also been unplugging more at night. I'll have my phone next to me because when I watch a show, and I want to see where the location is, or like I said before, I watch a lot of BBC, or Acorn TV, not BBC, Acorn, but the British. I like to see where in England it's being filmed, or Scotland. I'll look things up, but it's not there to use at night. I think everybody needs downtime. All right, so there you have it. We made four cards today. And this little nasty thing is, like I said, acting up today. So we made 4 little library cards, which I think are just very, very adorable and useful, and I just love them. So these will be going in the shop next week, after Monday, and they will be available. So we did the two today of the fairies, and then we have 2 for our dads or our husbands or our sons, however you want to use them. So that's it, everybody. Thanks for joining in, and I hope you have a glorious day no matter where you are. Remember, the bad is it's still good. If it's something bad's happening in your life, there's a reason why, and you can take something positive away from it. So until my next video, I'll see everybody then. All right, bye-bye.